So let's keep going. Let's go through a transit edit scenario. And in this example, if you would remember from our first example where we added a few households to some zones. So let's say you decide that that these new zones are not quite well served by transit, so you want to extend one of the existing transit line that comes all the way till here. So maybe you want to add a new stop at this location and then extend the transit line, and that way this community will be served better. So this transit line is it goes by the name Commonwealth / Lane, and there are two line routes, eastbound and westbound. So we will first add a new stop, and then after that we will extend the transit line. And we'll see if you want to update the frequency of the transit line, how to make that change as well. So in this case, since you are assuming that this change will go along with the the household update you made, this time you can start with the household build version file and then make changes to that. Right, so let's go. Let me close this version file. I think we don't need this for now. We go back to the working directory, and remember we got to start from the household build version file, so you can start that. Just give it a few seconds to load. Yeah, and then we can do file, save as. So you can just say household underscore build underscore transit or something like that. Hit save. Okay, and then we can load the transit edit GPF file. So let's look for that in the graphics subdirectory, and here is transit edit. Let's load that, say okay. All right, and it shows all transit lines and stops. So right now it is showing you all transit lines in this model region, and all the stops. And these were the two MAZs where we made changes. And this road that you see here, JMS Road, this is where we would want to add a new stop. And since we don't want to look at all the transit lines, we can filter out the lines and only view the lines that we want to make changes to. So we have already pre-saved a filter, and I'm going to load that filter. So let's go here, look in the filters, and so line filter commonwealth.fil. You can drag and drop that here. You can say okay. Okay, and then if I apply the filter, you would only see the line that was that we want to update. Okay, so let's start by adding a stop first. Or for that, we activate the stop points layer, and let me zoom in a little bit more here, and then you can go again activate the insert mode by clicking on the plus sign, and that way you can add stops to any link on the network, right? And remember, stop points are directional, so whenever you if you are on this side of the link, then it would show you the arrow, and that would determine the directionality of the stop. Or you can come this side and the arrow would reverse, right? So or if you're creating the stop on a node, then if it's not showing you any arrow, then that pretty much means that it is a bidirectional stop. So in this case, let's create a bidirectional stop. So at once you snap it onto a node, you can just do a left click there, and that's it. That has created the stop. So we can go back to the edit mode, and if you want to change any properties for this stop, you can double click on that. And if you want to change any of these, don't get used anywhere in the model, so you need not worry about those. But if you want to change transport systems, if you want the stop to serve only specific transport systems, you can do that. Or depending on your fare system, you can make other changes to here. But at this point, we need not make any changes. We are sort of allowing all transport systems. And you can say OK. All right, so now let's see how we can extend the transit line. So for that, let's activate the line layer now. And if you click on the line, it would show those two lines. So there are two line routes. That's why you see eastbound and westbound. So let's just zoom a little bit here and maybe let's select the eastbound line. So it shows that it starts from this stop here, and then it's going all the way into, I think, downtown Jacksonville. And for this exercise, what we have to do is extend this line such that it would serve this stop, or it would start from this stop instead of starting from this stop, right? So to do that, in this line route box, you can right click on the line name and then click on edit course. So it would open this box here, edit course toolbox, and then click on parameters, and make sure you click on this box here which says use also closed links for routing. So currently in the network, since there was no existing public transit on this road, perhaps this road was closed to public transit, or the transport system PUT, or the local bus or express bus, those transport systems were not allowed on these links. So if you click this box, when you change course, Visum would automatically allow these links to, allow the transport system of the line that you're routing along these links. Okay, so let's say we do that. We say okay. Now, if you would in Visum, when you change the course of a transit line, it always routed through shortest path. And so let's say if we start, changing the course or extending this line, it would change the existing course as well, because it would try to reach to the final stop through the shortest path. So to avoid doing that, what we can do is we can say fix all profile points. So that way, none of the existing course of this line will not be altered, right? And now to simply extend this line, you can, click on the last stop and then just hold, and without releasing the click, you can keep moving in the direction where you want to extend it. And keep mind the directionality, because the directionality is determined by which side of the link you're hovering your mouse. So, because we wanted to be going, in this case, the north direction, you would always want to stay to the right of the link so that, you get the right directionality. And once you have reached that stop, you can release the click, and that's it. You have changed the course. And at this point, you can say, okay, and it would give you warning regarding, as I mentioned earlier, these links, maybe they didn't allow public transit earlier, but it says because of this change, those links must be open for public transit. So you can say yes for all, and you have changed the course of that existing line. Now let's say we want to change the westbound direction also. So let me quickly zoom here just to give you an idea about westbound link. So you see the westbound route, it comes to this stop, and then probably it used to make a U-turn here. So it used to go to that stop. So if we start extending it from that point, it will become very tricky because this is a one directional road and you cannot go this way. So instead, what we will do is we will change the last stop itself for the westbound direction. We'll change the last stop to be our, the new stop that we just added, right? So in order to do that, how you can do it is if you want to change the last stop itself and move it to a different location, you can fix the second last stop and then drag the last stop to this location. And remember, the direction this time for the westbound line route is this way, so it should come this way. So to fix a stop in the course of a line route, you can simply click on it. Or let me go back here to the westbound, and we need to first start the edit course toolbox. Let's go here. We'll say edit course. Again, check the parameters, and this is already ticked because we just ticked it. Now you can say you're fixing that point, and it becomes purple. And now go to the last stop, and then click and hold and drag it. So we want to drag it in this direction. So, once we reach the final stop, you can release the hold, and that's it. You can say, okay, at this point, and again, the same warning, you can say yes for all, and you can see now, this line doesn't go back there. In fact, it comes back to the stop, and this is like a stop shared by both direction, and, the line sort of makes a U-turn from this point. So that's all. That's how you would make changes to an existing transit line if you want to extend it or change it in any way. But let's say if you want to also update the headways or frequency of these lines, for that you need to go to lines, lists, and then go to time profiles. So there you will find that there are two fields, headway _1 and headway _2, and these represents headways in seconds, right? So, and since we have already read a filter, you can activate that, and it would activate those two lines. And then, if you want to change the filter, or sorry, the frequency or headway in any way, you can update that here. And once again, once you're done with all your changes, you can simply save the version file, and that is it. So if you want to learn more about, how to add a new line or, things like that, you can always go back to one of our previous trainings that we did for D1 or D7, and, we did cover a few transit examples there. So if you want to learn more, you can always refer to those previous trainings. So I think that was pretty much about uh, how would you make different changes, create different scenarios, and we did cover all of this.